Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming my 29 and 30 week pregnancy update. I cannot believe that I'm already into the 30 week mark, meaning that now I've just hit 31 weeks, which is why I'm filming for the past 2 weeks, so there's only 9 more weeks left until this pregnancy is 40 weeks, which is complete and full term. It's crazy to me. It's just flying by. So I want to go through, just like with all of my other pregnancy updates, which I will link my pregnancy playlist above. I want to go through all the different things that I always go through. I feel like a lot has shifted in the past 2 weeks. I definitely feel like this has been, aside from going from being extremely nauseous to not extremely nauseous, this has been the other biggest shift in the past couple of weeks. I just feel so much more pregnant in the past couple of weeks than I have prior to that. Baby in week 29 was the size of a head of cauliflower, and in week 30 was the size of a bunch of broccoli. As I've said many times, those vegetable and fruit sizes are kind of funny, but whatever, you kind of get the idea. So how I'm feeling overall, I have a lot of bullets on this. I am feeling a lot more nesty. So the term nesting basically means, it's like if you imagine a mother bird like creating a nest and getting it all ready. That's kind of how I'm feeling. So I'm feeling a lot more that way within my home, of just like, I just went through and organized all her little clothes and starting to do her laundry and starting to get all of her things in her little dresser and just starting to make those final decisions for the nursery and getting just all those little nesty things, as well as just wanting things organized and clean in other parts of the house. I'm feeling that more strongly than I have for the rest of, the previous months of pregnancy. I'm also interestingly feeling a lot more needy and more, I wrote needy and more cuddly, which I was like laughing at when I read through these notes because I've been adding to them over the past couple of weeks. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. I think I feel like slightly more vulnerable. I feel like my body, as my bump gets bigger, which I'll show you a bump shot at the end, it's definitely getting bigger. As my bump gets bigger and as I feel less mobile and I just feel less, I don't know, flexible and things like that, I just feel, I think, more vulnerable, and I feel like I need to be and want to be near my husband Riley as much as possible, and I like want to be close to him more. And I don't know how else to describe it. I just feel more needy. I feel like I'm in a needier season physically. I just want to be close to him for his help and like just the safety and security that he provides to me. So that's been an interesting shift for me because, I mean, we're married and we love each other a lot. We're near each other a lot, but this is like a different level. This is like, I want to be and feel like I need to be near him more now than in previous months of pregnancy. So that's been interesting. Definitely been more tired. I was describing in previous updates that I was feeling extremely motivated and energetic, and then I would just like hit a wall and would need to take a nap. That level of energy is less overall now, and I'm still taking naps. So I just feel my body slowing down when we take walks, and or if I just like go to the grocery store. When I think about how slowly I'm walking, I always sort of chuckle because I have pretty long legs. In fact, I'm about 5'6", 5'7", and my husband's about 6'4", and our legs are the exact same length. Our hips are the exact same length. It's just that I have a short torso and he has a very long torso. So I have a pretty long stride, and I'm usually a pretty fast walker, and I just am crawling along these days, just really crawling along. I'm extremely tired and my legs just don't move as fast as they used to. I'm continuing to feel very breathless. As she gets bigger in my belly and there's that pressure up on my diaphragm, it's like some days it's just hard to get a deep breath. And I've had many of my friends and family say that I'm carrying her very high. And just a couple days ago, my friend Jenny was like, "Are you having a hard time breathing because you are carrying her so high?" And she has 3 sons. And I know that there's a lot of old wives' tales and whatever, but we were just kind of, chatting. And I was like, I was like, "I can barely breathe." And she was like, "I can see, like, your bump is high enough. I can see that it would be hard for you to breathe." And I'm like, bingo, it's very hard for me to breathe. The last thing under the how I'm feeling overall is this whole phenomenon of pregnancy brain has been super interesting to me. So there's actually like scientific evidence, if you look it up, like the science behind pregnancy brain, which the term pregnancy brain denotes sort of like brain fog, kind of like slight confusion, not being able to remember things, just kind of forgetfulness, things like that. And if you look it up, because the baby is needing so many nutrients and so many vitamins, so like your brain as the mom starts kind of getting foggy. And I have felt that acutely in the past 2 weeks. There have been so many moments where Riley just starts cracking up because he's like, you are so not yourself right now. Like, I can't remember things and I can't put things together quite right sometimes. And it's like sort of crazy making because I'm feeling like, what is going on here? Like, I can't remember. I just don't know really what's going on. So I'm a note taker anyway, and I have a detailed calendar that I keep anyway, but you should see it right now. Everything in my life is written down because it has to be, because I just can't keep track the way that I used to. It's really interesting. It's not my favorite thing. It's a little bit funny at times, but sometimes it's extremely frustrating because I can't remember whether I've done something or not, and I can't remember like what I was meaning to say, or I'll start speaking and I can't remember the end of my sentence. It's very odd. It's a very like acute phenomenon. It's been really interesting. It's not like, oh, I'm just kind of tired. It's like I'll start telling Riley a story and then I can't remember what I'm talking about and like totally lost my train has left the station, that sort of thing. As far as food cravings and aversions, I can't really think of any extreme food cravings in the past couple of weeks. It's been a heat wave here in Texas. June and July were extremely mild months this summer, in my opinion. I mean, we had highs of 92 or 93 degrees, which for some people obviously is extremely hot. For Texas, it's really not that hot. But then in the past couple of weeks, we have been hitting 105 degrees, 106 degrees regularly, which is obviously by anyone's standards extremely hot. And because of that, and also just because I'm still working, I'm still moving around, that kind of thing, I have been very, very, very thirsty. So I wake up and drink a huge bottle of water. I drink a huge bottle of water with breakfast, after breakfast, with lunch, just all day. I'm just drinking water and lemon water. Sometimes I'll throw in like a Gatorade. I've been trying to do coconut water because I know that's a much better alternative. I've tried several brands. I just think it is awful. I do not like it. Riley really likes it, so he always, like, I'll taste it and then I'll give it to him because I can't stand it. A couple of days I've forced myself to drink the coconut water, but I've tried all these different flavors and it is not my thing. And then another thing in this food category, even though I don't have specific cravings or aversions, is that I've definitely been hungrier. That has been a major shift in the past couple of weeks. I was starting to get hungrier, but I'm starting to get to the point where like I'm kind of hungry, like there's like a low grade of hunger that I'm feeling pretty much all the time. The struggle has been that when I eat a larger meal, even if I just eat a meal that I would consider to be a pretty standard sized meal of what I would eat pre-pregnancy, it is extremely uncomfortable because she has gotten so big and is taking up so much room in my abdomen. When my stomach gets full so much more quickly, I feel like, and it's extremely uncomfortable to have a big meal or just like a normal sized meal and then her in there. My belly just feels tight and extremely uncomfortable. So I've had to be more conscientious about eating smaller meals more frequently, which is not my preferred way to eat. I know some people really prefer to eat. I prefer to have 3 meals and then like a couple of little snacks. At least at this stage of life. I'm sure that shifts around depending on your stage of life. But because I'm working during the day, I really don't feel like getting up and like making mini meals 3 or 4 times. I just want to focus. It's hard enough for me to focus with this pregnancy brain. Getting up and like going and cutting up apples and doing all these things, it just like totally shifts my focus. So I don't know, I'm doing fine. I'm doing just fine, but just that's been the reality, is that I've been hungrier overall, but I can't eat large meals. So I've had to eat smaller meals throughout the day. And sometimes it's like, okay. And so then I end up eating a bigger meal and then I'm uncomfortable and then I regret it. I'm learning slowly. Physical changes, my bump is definitely bigger, and everything that comes along with that, just, you know, sleeping is more difficult, things like that, which I'll talk about in a minute. My worst or most difficult symptom over the past couple of weeks has been that acid reflux. Oh, it's just awful. And that heartburn. I've definitely heard pregnant women, like pretty much every pregnant woman that I know, talk about that awful pregnancy heartburn and pregnancy acid reflux feeling because of the way your like esophagus and diaphragm relax, or whatever. And that has definitely kicked in much more significantly in the past 2 weeks, and it is extremely, I mean, it's painful. Like I've been surprised at how deeply uncomfortable it actually is. So I actually have gotten these, they're called papaya enzymes, and they look like Tums, but they are not. And I can link below what I've been using, and they have been great. They have been great. They've been cleared by my provider to take, and they have been so great. Like, you chew them just like a Tums, and they taste like a mint. The ones that I take are like papaya mint, so they have the papaya enzymes, but then they taste like peppermint, and that heartburn acid reflux feeling is like instantly soothed down. Whereas the Tums, I feel like just slightly take it away. These things really work. So I've been using those, and they're totally pregnancy safe. I also noticed that with that heartburn acid reflux feeling, anything that requires me to bend over, pick up something off the floor, it's like you can feel it. Oh, it's awful. I know I'm not alone in that. I know that that's a very common symptom for women. As far as baby's movement, it is continually constant, and strong. She kicks me and elbows me and nudges me all hours of the day and night. It's been fun as she has gotten bigger that I can start to notice her sleep and wake cycles. Like right now she's asleep, which is nice because I'm able to focus. But I notice when she's asleep or awake, because when she's awake, her movement she is just a wiggle worm. Her movement is just absolutely constant. In fact, my sister and I, when I was home a couple of weeks ago for my baby shower in Maryland, which is where I grew up, my sister and I went to an ultrasound place to do the 3D ultrasounds. We just wanted to have that experience together since we are pregnant together. And so we went, and it was a really positive experience. And so we both got little peeks of our babies, and it was just really fun to do together. And our parents came along, and it's just a memory I will never forget. It was really, really, really cool. And I will put up a picture of my baby girl's little smushy face. Oh, so cute. I mean, it's really distorted. You're looking at it, it's like basically looking into a fishbowl sort of thing. And so it's really distorted, but you can still see like her little cheeks and her little nose and her sweet little lips. I think she has Riley's little perfect heart lips. And oh, she's so cute. But even during that, the ultrasound technician, she was like, oh my goodness, this little girl moves all the time. And I was like, correct. Yes, she does. She moves constantly, but I'm super grateful for that activity because it obviously signals to me that she's doing well and kicking and moving, and she's very, sensitive. When I drink something that's cold, immediately she's moving around, or after I eat, she'll move around, or just all kinds of things. As far as my sleeping, it has taken a turn over the past 2 weeks. Definitely taken a turn. I have found that whereas earlier in my pregnancy I was sleeping quite soundly throughout most nights, I've found that in the past couple of weeks, over week 29 and 30, I am more restless in my sleep. I get more overheated. It's harder for me to find a comfortable position. I've been doing a pillow between my knees, and that has been a game changer. And just like, there's a lot of pillows going on. And that's been super comfortable. I know everyone's going to say, get the Snoogle, get the Snoogle. Allie, my sister, has one and she loves that thing. I just don't really feel like storing that thing. I don't feel like having that giant thing. So I've been using pillows, and that's been fine. It's not been an issue of like finding a comfortable position. It's just that my body doesn't sleep for long stretches anymore. So pretty much every day between 4 and I usually get up around 8. Usually now between 4 and 6 a.m. at the very, very latest. It's typically earlier than that. I am wide awake, and I'm up, and my body's up. And so what I've been doing is getting up between, usually it's like in the 4 or 5 o'clock hour. I'll get up, I'll go use the restroom, brush my teeth and wash my face, and then I'll quietly go out to the main part of our home, and I'll usually actually come in here into my office and answer some emails, get some things done, package up some Etsy orders for about an hour, 90 minutes. The other day I was like meal planning and online grocery shopping at straight up 4:45 a.m. And then if my body starts to wear itself back out, I will go get in bed for another maybe hour or 90 minutes. And I've actually maintained quite a pretty good amount of stamina through the day, given the fact that I'm not getting like these deep, long 8-hour stretches of sleep anymore. But I know that it's my body's way of preparing me for, you know, a newborn and having to get up with a newborn and those kinds of things. So it's all good, but sleep has definitely been more interrupted. And so because of that, then typically, just like I said in my last update, I've usually been getting up and going ahead in the afternoon, maybe 3 o'clock or so, sometimes 4 o'clock, I will go ahead and take a nap and lay down for a solid 30 minutes to an hour. And really that is what allows me to get through the evening. If I don't have that nap, I very seriously get in bed around 7:30 or 8, which I'm a night owl. It's so early, but I'm just really, really tired. The next category is new purchases, and I've bought a couple of things here or there, but nothing's coming to mind as anything exciting to share. So I'm just going to kind of blaze through that, and we'll talk about that more as we continue to finish up the nursery, and I'm sure I'll probably do a separate video about that as well. The final section that I have is what I am most focused on this week. So one thing I'm just reflecting on is that in the past 2 weeks, as I mentioned earlier, I did travel up to Maryland and had my baby shower. My mom and sister threw me a baby shower up there with family and friends, and it was just lovely. Like, it was a wonderful event, and it was such a special, it's just like so special. I will never ever forget that. It's the first time since my wedding, which was almost exactly 4 years before the day of this baby shower, that I have had so many of the important women in my life in one room at one time. And I was just looking around and, you know, mingling and talking to people and taking photos and things, and it was just incredible. Like, I just had such a nice time. Being the center of attention at an event like that can be very overwhelming to me. I think for a lot of people, of even all different personality types, I know people who feel the same way. And so I wasn't nervous about it at all because it was people that I knew, but I was just sort of like, oh man, like, it's a lot, you know, it's a lot of attention, a lot of eyes on you. And I just felt so relaxed throughout the whole baby shower. It wasn't very big, you know, and it was just really nice to see everyone. And of course I got some stunning gifts, like the most beautiful little clothes, and we got like a baby swing and a little baby bath thing and like little baby towel robes and just like some really nice things that are really going to be super practical and useful when she arrives in like a couple of months. So that was definitely something just reflecting on over the past 2 weeks. And then what I'm focused on kind of moving forward is I really want to work on finishing up our nursery. So if you've seen, I'll link that video above, our sort of nursery progress video. We have painted, we have a rug in, we did a board and batten wall, we put together the crib, and we put together the dresser. And so what's left for us to do is we want to get like a rocker recliner in there, and so that we need to pick one of those out. I have my eye on one, and I think we're probably going to go with that. So we need to just like make that purchase, and we want to do some bookshelves, and we just have, you know, things like that. I want to do a little table by my recliner for nursing supplies or feeding supplies, depending on how all that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to start, because I'm feeling more nesty. I'm feeling more like I want to see that project come to completion. I want to see the finished product, so to speak, of that nursery. So it's about, I don't know, 60% done, 65% done. So we just need to add a few more things, and then it will be the fun part of hanging little things on the wall and decorating and that kind of stuff. So that's that. The last thing that I want to share is my bump shot, so I will go ahead and pop that in over here. Today I'm wearing, this top is not a maternity top. I wanted the pink because I thought it was, you know, fun for baby girl arriving. But you can see this belly is starting to bust out. It is, some days I just feel so big suddenly, and it's a good feeling because I know she's growing and she's gaining half a pound a week right now, which is quite a lot. And but yeah, I'm definitely starting to get that pregnant lady waddle, and I just feel more and more pregnant. But it's a gift, and I'm not upset about it at all. It's been really I've had such a good pregnancy overall, all things considered. The nausea was really challenging, but outside of that, once that, you know, was under control and passed, I have really had a very easy pregnancy, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm super, super grateful for that. So that's the story with my 29 and 30 week update for pregnancy, for this first pregnancy with our baby girl. I will make sure to check in for weeks 31 and 32, and then we'll keep going forward and see how far we get until it's time for her to be delivered, you know, somewhere around that week 40 mark. Cannot believe that we are already in the 30s here. It is gone by so quickly. This whole year has been gone by so quickly. We got pregnant in January, found out in February, and so it's been basically this entire year. And I mean, here we are in late August, and she's coming in October. It's craziness. I'm so, so excited. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to share any thoughts or comments, or if you're pregnant too now, or if you've been pregnant, or if you're looking forward to getting pregnant or anything like that, and you want to share something in the comments below, I always read your comments, and I love chatting with y'all there. So make sure to leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.